Joanne, you ready? I'd like to call this meeting of the Coventry Town Council to order at 6 p.m. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Pasqua, Councilmember Capaldi.
Here.
Councilmember Hul,
Here.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yeah.
Vice President Verducci,
Here.
President Lima.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. In the event of an emergency this evening, those present can exit through doors labeled number 1 or 2 in the back of council chambers to the front lawn or back parking lot of Town Hall. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to take the agenda out of order.
Make a motion.
Motion by Vice President Verducci,
Second.
second by Councilman Hul. Any discussion? We're going to do the ceremonial swearing in up front. We've got some family and friends here to witness. So if there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Pasqua, Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
7 the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
We'll move now to item 5, election and/or appointment of town officials. We have the oath of office for elected members of the town council for districts 3 and 5. Mr. Richard Houle for District 3 and Mr. Robert DeLellis for District 5. Madam Clerk, if you would administer the oath. Oh, Senator Rep Takacs, I'm sorry. Yeah, come on up. Just maybe do it at the podium with the mic. Yeah. And raise your right hand. Congratulations. Yep. Yeah, Mr. DeLellis, and let's make sure, and just make sure the mic's on this time.
That you will be true and faithful unto the state, support the laws and constitution thereof, and that you will the office of the town council have been elected. Said. Mother. Place, or until you are legally discharged therefrom, will help you God.
I do. Thank you.
Congratulations and welcome. We'll move back now to the top of our agenda, meeting minutes from prior meetings. We have quite a few this evening. For open session, we have March 18th, May 20th, June 2nd, and June 10th. Do I hear a motion to take these open session minutes as a block?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Brown,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Capaldi. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
And do I hear a motion to approve the block of minutes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Brown,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Capaldi. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, did you receive any edits?
No, I did not on the open session.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown. Councilmember Pasqua. Councilmember Capaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Hul.
I will abstain.
Councilmember DeLellis.
I will abstain.
Councilmember Vice President Verducci.
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
5 in the affirmative and 2 abstentions.
And next we have executive session minutes, March 25th, April 8th, April 22nd, April 29th, May 20th, June 2nd, June 18th, and June 24th. What's the pleasure of the council? Consider as a block or go one by one?
Make a motion, we do it in a block.
We have a motion from Councilman Brown,
Second.
second by Councilman Pasqua. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua.
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Hul.
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis.
Yes.
Vice President Verducci.
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
And now to the block of minutes. What's the pleasure of the council?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Brown,
Second.
second by Councilman Pasqua. Discussion. Madam Clerk, did you receive edits?
I received some edits from yourself, but I haven't received any yet from the other council members.
Do other council members have edits to submit to the clerk on those minutes? All right, if there's no further discussion, my edits were purely grammatical in nature, people's names, version of the word there, were, etc. If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua. Councilmember Capaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Hul.
Abstain.
Councilmember DeLellis.
Abstain.
Vice President Verducci.
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
5 in the affirmative, 2 abstentions. Motion passes.
We now move to public comment on docketed items, those items on our agenda this evening. If you have a comment on a docketed item, please come forward to the podium and make sure the microphone is on and state your name and address for the record.
Brittany Boyer, 318 Town Farm Road. So I'm speaking regarding the sanitation trucks. I'm looking to see if you can clarify how many were purchased in the last group and are all of them now delivered, decaled, and in service?
Manager Prillo?
2 are delivered, 1's on the way, hopefully this week. And the goal tonight is to order 3 others.
The 2 that are delivered, are they decaled and in service?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. In the quote for the 3 new trucks, there's a note at the bottom of the quote sheet dated June 18th, and it says, quote valid for 30 days, expires July 16th, and will be subject to July 1st increase. I'm unsure whether that's a typo and they meant August 1st, but either way, that quote has expired. It appears we're now subject to a price increase. I think we should get the updated total cost. The figure of nearly 1.3 million doesn't seem accurate based on this quote, and I don't believe it would be appropriate to move forward with a vote on that level of spending without knowing the exact and current amount. There is a line item there that allows for tariffs, and with all of the craziness that has been going on, I would hate to approve this amount and then, because it's an expired quote, have there be a large tariff added onto that we don't know about. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment on docketed items only. Those items on our agenda this evening, come forward to the microphone, make sure it's on, and state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, just make sure the green light's on.
Hi, my name is Kathy Phillips, 9 Milton Lane, Coventry, Rhode Island. I'm a resident, excuse me, of Hometown America, Westwood Estates. I want to thank Alyssa Capaldi, Councilwoman, for making this possible for us being able to address this issue before you today. Our purpose of coming before you today is to express our concerns regarding the relocation project at Hometown Westwood Estates, Coventry, Rhode Island. 1, the drain on the water system possibly involving installation of sewers, hookup fees, and sewer taxes. The fire department expressed concern at the planning department meeting about the water pressure. 2, the distance between the mobile homes and the septic with the reconfiguration placing homes in between. 3, if what I heard was true at the meeting, that the moves would be voluntary, and if the owners refused their homes to be moved, could they then charge double rent because the mobile home is now taking up double space? The lawyer at the planning department meeting mentioned this, and the director, Doug McLean, corrected him by saying, no, you are requesting that the existing space be made 2. 4, what about the damage that can happen to our mobile homes? Who would be responsible, and what would be the outcome as far as a place to stay afterwards or even during this transition? Some of the damage might not be immediately apparent. This could result in denial of responsibility at a later date. The lawyer did say, when asked how far he would press the issue of relocation, etc., he said that eviction was possible, as well as there is always apartment 96. Hometown did send a letter apologizing for the eviction statement. 5, we were told it was an either-or situation, either the reconfiguration relocation project or the apartment 96 project. It is not delineated on the plans as to placement of roads, etc., regarding the apartment 96 project and how that would affect our community. Traffic concerns, road placement, and the traffic load on top of the traffic from the Coventry High School. 6, is it true that Hometown would be able to reapply every 2 years? 7, the water area for the runoff becomes a mosquito haven, possible disease. 8, we got a notice in the mail from the lawyer on August 15th, 2025. No previous communication or notification at all prior to that point. No meeting with the residents. A lot of concerns could have been addressed at that time. 9, we purchased our homes in good faith on the land that it occupied when placed there. What about protection? There has to be protection from people being displaced from their homes, either temporarily or permanently. 10, even though the threat of eviction was retracted, the fact is that the lawyer representing Hometown America was very manipulative and threatening, my opinion. The whole situation, in our opinion, was mishandled. We have been accused of scaring people with information. We have the facts. They are the ones using scare tactics and did not provide any information to the residents as if we did not matter. 13, if what was mentioned in the letter about purchasing our homes, that prevents us from selling our homes outright, and if we do, we have to disclose that the house will be moved. Hometown America has had several class action suits currently against them, as well as some that have settled. Labor class action suit, Carl Davis and other parties versus Hometown America, a Delaware corporation. A judgment of $495,000 to resolve litigation and separately pay all employer payroll taxes on the wage portions of the individual class payments. $30,000 to California Labor and Workforce Development Agency. This represents 75% of the penalties awarded under the terms of the joint stipulation. $10,000 to plaintiff for service as class representative, $10,250 to settlement administrator, $11,457.68 for reasonable attorney fees. Second one, Greg Townsend versus Hometown and others. Action complaint to recover treble damages injunction relief. After acquiring mobile home sites, the buyers have implanted aggressive annual rent increases causing burdens on manufactured home residents. This was done by data comp appraisal systems reports known as JLT Market Exchange. They exchanged non-public information in order to do so. This is unlawful under Section 1 of the Sherman Act. Hometown America owns, operates, or has a controlling interest in 66, actually it's more when I looked it up later, manufactured homes across the United States, home parks. Hometown America, $500,000 settlement reached between residents, excuse me, the owner of Oak Hill Mobile Home Park in Massachusetts. 3, Gable versus Hometown America alleges Hometown America unlawfully threatened residents of New Jersey manufactured home community with rent increases and evictions at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. They withheld or eliminated virtually all amenities and services paid for by Shenandoah Village's roughly 700 residents, the majority of who were quarantined and isolated. This included allowing the infrastructural maintenance to fall by the wayside, the lawsuit alleges. The case charges Hometown America actions amount to violations of public policy an executive order issued by New Jersey Governor Phil Murray, state consumer protection laws, and the Gloucester Township Municipal Code. Phil Murray put a stay on them for the rent increases during that, and they went ahead and put the for the eviction notices, and they went ahead with eviction process anyways. Hometown America filed a notice to quit, which purported to end leases and require recipients to move out from the property by April 30th, 2020. The suit goes on to allege Hometown America refused to correct issues with a January 2020 remit increase application, which was deemed deficient and violative of Shenandoah residents' rights submitted to the Gloucester Township Housing Authority. The hometown refused to allow residents to utilize amenities after the loosening of restrictions by Governor Murphy per Executive Order 152. 4, class action Shirtliff versus Hometown America. Residents of Hometown America, Oak Hill Park in Attleboro, Oak Point Park in Middleborough, allege that Hometown refuses to make necessary repairs to the infrastructure on their home sites, resulting in damage to their homes and dangerous conditions on their home site. And that thing that I read before about the 500,000 suit, that should have been there in that place down there. I'm sorry. Okay. Count 1 on the charges. Defendant's Hometown should have known the policy was unreasonable or unconscionable, that their conduct was unlawful, and failure to offer reasonable settlement was in bad faith. Count 2, defendants should have known that the policy was an unfair or deceptive act or practice, as well as corresponding regulations, and their implementing of policy has been willful. Count 3, defendants Hometown, Oak Hill, or Hometown Point implemented the policy and withheld critical home site infrastructure and maintenance services required as a matter of law by the lease contracts. The plaintiff sufficiently complied with their obligation under each lease contract as a matter of law. In other words, the leasees paid, but the owners didn't uphold their maintenance things, even though there was no withholding from the residents. They paid their fees. Count 4, implementation of the policy by defendants Hometown, Oak Hill, Hometown Point, Oak Point, and Hometown Management substantially impaired the character and value of each plaintiff's respective leaseholder home site. An injunction ordering Hometown to immediately perform all maintenance, repair, and replacement work to home site infrastructure at Oak Hill and Oak Point in order to have sites in good repair as required by law. Issue an injunction ordering Hometown within 60 days to submit for court's approval written policies and procedures, whereby Hometown will assume responsibility for the maintenance, repair, and replacement of the home site infrastructure at Oak Hill and Oak Point, the litigation costs and attorney fees. These are just a few of the class actions that Hometown America has or had against them. Our purpose in citing these is to show our point of what seems to be unfair business practices. We need protection as residents from these practices and full disclosure to us of what might affect our property and its value. Thank you for your time and consideration. It's really, we put our mobile homes there. John Asselone owned that site before, and he placed our mobile homes on the site that they're at. Now they want to take and move our mobile homes. Some of these homes, mine isn't, but some of these homes are 50 years old. So they want to move them to place other mobile homes in between. And it's just really concerning to us. They never came to us to make us aware of anything. And with these, there were other class action suits against them. But it's just the whole situation, the way they deal with things in the class actions, it just makes me leery that they could do the adequate job and not cause later on, they could say, oh, that damage wasn't caused by us, So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Public comment on docketed items only. Come up to the microphone, state your name and address, make sure the green button is on.
My name's Jonathan Longo, 21 Torch Lane, Westwood Estates. I've got a petition going right now, and we've got a total of,
My apologies, 1 second. Could I just get a motion to enter Ms. Phillips' letter that she submitted into the record, please?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Pasqua. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Pasqua, Councilmember Capaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Yes.
If I may, it would seem that there are many people here to talk about Westwood. Under my comments, I will address the introduction of new business before the council, of which is an ordinance with Westwood.
Mm.
If you could just tell these folks to hang around so that they know or have a sense of when the hearing will actually be on the ordinance, so that they can come back.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your patience. Go ahead.
This statement is to provide you with notice of the detrimental effects that will be experienced by the residents of Torch Lane, Milton, and many other areas of the mobile home park. If the current plan is to turn the present homes 90 degrees and squeeze in another mobile home, there'd be 47 additional units to Westwood Estates. Present homes, from what I found by going door to door and talking to people, range from 1966 as early and as new as 2020, some maybe 2021. But these older ones, they were originally designed with a flat roof, flat metal roof. When they moved them into Westwood Estates, they put this big, probably 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of wood, joists and rafters and all kinds of stuff to make them peak roofs. Now, when you combine that weight with the age of these mobile homes, more than likely, I know mine will, mine's in 1972, is not going to survive jiggling that around with all that extra weight on top. And even some of the newer ones, they're not designed to be moved once they're filled with our belongings. So what's going to happen is the frames are going to bend, because they're barely strong enough to hold it when it's going down the highway to be placed. So when you put all that extra weight of the roof, the contents, they're not going to make it. We purchased our homes, well, most of us that are parallel to the street purchased our homes because of the large family-sized lots. And now if you take that, I've got a 1/4 acre. I've got an orchard, vegetable gardens, you know, a big shed that I had custom built. My dog loves to run and play, which is important to us because my wife's 3-stage 4 cancers. And the thing is, it's like, if they turn us 90 degrees, we're gonna have 15 feet on each side of us. Now, we just built a deck that extends out 17 feet and is 31 feet long, so that's not gonna fit. A lot of other people have put on 3-season rooms and, you know, 2-season rooms that are quite a bit more than 15 feet, because at the time we have the area to do that. The systems that are in place now, as far as fire hydrants, on all of Torch, there's 2. So if you go sticking a whole bunch more in there, firefighters are gonna have to run like 300 feet of hose to get to a fire hydrant. So that puts everybody in danger, because if they're that close, when one goes up, they all go up. They just can't handle it. Let's see, what else do I have here? Regular flooding issues. On Torch alone, there's about 12 places where when it rains, it just fills up with water. My yard, for instance, comes down Torch Lane, floods my driveway 6 inches deep, then my field, then my backyard goes out the other side, making the yard unusable for about 3 or 4 days till it dries up. In front of 26 Torch Lane, they have a major pond that people have to drive around, because when they put that one in January, they smashed the drain pipe down and never fixed it. And that drain pipe runs underneath that property, so I doubt it can be replaced now. Street lighting is at a very minimum. We've had several meetings about this with the park, and they say it'll be 3 to 5 years, which they've been saying for the last 10 years, and nothing's been done. Once you start putting in more and more homes because they're actually going to make new roads too, new roads, new cul-de-sacs. And they're doing these stormwater runoff areas, which basically is a big stone lined pond that stays around for weeks after a good rainstorm and turns green. They already have them on Cheryl Lane, and they're just a big green puddle for a month. So that's not gonna help anybody either. And with the crowded streets and the addition of all these extra homes, and we've got Coventry High School, their traffic, the buses are stationed behind us now, so that traffic, and everybody trying to get out of Westwood Estates, it's gonna take forever, because it takes about a half hour just when the high school lets out in the afternoon. So in the mornings, people are just not gonna be able to get to work on time. They're gonna have to start leaving like an hour early just to get off the road. Thank you, folks, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Public comment on docketed items only. Come up to the microphone, make sure the green light is on, state your name and address for the record. Members of the public on Zoom, please raise your hand to be let in. Public comment on docketed items only. Good evening. Make sure you're unmuted and state your name and address for the record, please. Just unmute yourself. Is Lori Jean there? Lori Jean going once, twice, 3 times. All right, next on our list. Please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, Earl Reed, 109 Calvin Town Road.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Hello, I just wanted to call in and congratulate Councilman Hool and Delelis. I apologize for not being there, but I congratulate them on their appointment to town council and thank them for their service to our town. And I look forward as a state representative continuing the liaisonship with the town council at the state legislature. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Last call, public comment, docketed items only on Zoom. Public comment going once, twice, 3 times. Public comment on docketed items is closed. Moving now to licenses. We have a handful this evening. First one, new Class F liquor license and exhibitions and performances license. St. John and Paul Parish Harvest Festival, 341 South Main Street for September 20th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. per Coventry Code Chapter 89. All requirements have been met as indicated by the clerk's office. Do I hear a motion to approve the license?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Vice President Verducci, second by Councilman Capaldi. Discussion?
I was wondering if on this one, could we waive the fee for the application?
You can make it's up to the pleasure of the council.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to waive the license fee.
President, there's a motion pending. You can amend the
Oh.
motion to include.
Yeah, do you want to amend your original motion to approve the license?
I will. I'm going to amend my original motion. I'm going to do 2 things here. I'm going to offer to waive the license fee and approve.
Okay, we have an amended motion. Councilman Capaldi, do you support the amended motion?
I support that amended motion.
Second by Councilman Capaldi. Discussion. I think the applicant's here. I don't know if the council wanted to hear from them or not. Anyone? No? If there's no discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown? Councilmember Pasqua? Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hool?
Yes.
Councilmember Delelis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
New victualling license, Little Lattes Play Cafe, 57 Sandy Bottom Road, per Coventry Code Chapter 153-2 and 153-3. The clerk's office indicates all requirements have been met. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the license.
Motion by Councilman Brown,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Hool. Any discussion? Is the applicant here? Does the council have any questions for the applicant? All right, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. Good luck. New victualling license, Twisted Twirl, 1532 Main Street, Building C, serving ice cream and shakes. Per Coventry Code, Chapter 153-2, 153-3, the clerk's office indicates all requirements have been met. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilman Brown. Any discussion? Is the applicant here?
I'm just excited to try it.
Any discussion for the applicant from the council? Questions? If there's no, oh, yes.
Did you bring any shakes or ice cream? That's what you have to do. That's how you get the license.
If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua, Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Application for exhibitions and performances license and new Class F liquor license, Brookdale Center of New England, 600 Center of New England Boulevard, for an event on September 18th, 6 to 8 p.m. per Coventry Code Chapter 196. The clerk indicates all requirements have been met. Do I hear a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilman Capaldi. Discussion, is the applicant here? All right, the council have any questions or discussion for the applicant? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Application for exhibitions and performances license, Western Rhode Island Civic Historical Society, Payne House Museum Heritage Day, 7 Station Street for an event September 13th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., rain date September 14th. Per Coventry Code Chapter 196, the clerk's office indicates all requirements have been met. Do I hear a motion?
Motion. Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua,
Second.
second by Vice President Verducci. Discussion. Is the applicant here? Any questions or discussion for the,
I'd like to amend the motion to waive the fee.
Councilman Pasqua, do you amend your original motion?
We'll do two motions. I will make the motion to waive the fee and approve the license.
All right, we have an amended motion. Vice President Verducci, you support the amended motion?
Absolutely. I think I
Great.
invented it.
Any questions or discussion for the applicant? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes,
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
thank you. Good luck. Application for fireworks license on August 31st by American Fireworks, John Juicy, to be located at 66 Indian Trail, Coventry, Rhode Island, 8:30 p.m. Rain date Monday, September 1st, per Coventry Code 169-5 subsection G. The clerk has indicated that all requirements have been met. Do I hear a motion?
Approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pasqua,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Capaldi. Any discussion? The applicant is here this evening? Yes? Any questions or discussion for the applicant? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Moving now back to election and or appointment of town officials. For the Conservation Commission, Mr. Xavier indicated he cannot make it this evening and would like to be able to come in front of the council to talk about his appointment. So we will continue that to our next meeting. We will move to the Land Trust Committee. We have one vacancy for Arthur F. Chapman Jr. Is Mr. Chapman present this evening? Welcome. Would you like to come up to the microphone? Just state your name and address and introduce yourself.
Arthur Chapman Jr.,
Turn on the mic for me. Make sure it's green.
Can't see the color.
Oh, there you go. It's on now. I can hear it.
Arthur Chapman Jr., 192 Hammett Road in Coventry.
Greetings. And I apologize. Is this a reappointment or brand new?
I had been on the land trust in the past, but this is, I guess, I guess you'd say. brand
Okay, yep. Any questions or discussion for the applicant?
No questions, but just a thank you.
Thank you for stepping
get-
forward.
new. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and also welcome back.
Yeah. If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Chapman.
Make that motion to appoint Mr. Chapman to the Land Trust Committee.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilman Pasco, second by Councilman Capaldi. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Moving now, oh, congratulations. Thank you. Moving now to report of other town officers and officials. We have one this evening from the solicitor, Mr. Angel.
So I just, given the Westwood Estates ordinance that's on the agenda, and we have two new council people here, I just wanted to restate for those that may not be familiar with how ordinance is introduced, whether it's a new section of code or, whether it's an amendment to existing code. There's a charter requirement as to posting a number of days before it gets to the council. There are other requirements with respect to how it gets distributed to council once it's filed. It must be filed by a council member. All of those requirements were met, but for the public that's here tonight on one particular issue concerning Westwood Estates, tonight it is on for a first reading, which is procedural in nature, that it come before the council first. For cities and towns that are bigger, that have subcommittees of the council that hear ordinances of this kind, it would be a referral, if you will, to the relevant subcommittee of the council. We don't have that here. So it's posted for a first reading to put the public on notice and those concerned. And then at some point in the future, whatever the council decides tonight, there will be a hearing on that ordinance. And generally speaking, when there's a hearing, the council will take testimony from the applicant, will take, in this particular case, because there is an applicant, and they will take testimony from the residents. And respectfully, given the nature of what I've heard tonight, it would be in the best interest of the council to encourage them to come back on the night that there is a hearing, so that they may put their letters and their comments in the record at the hearing on that night, because tonight is only docketed comment that does not count toward whatever comments they may make at a hearing. I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
If you folks maybe want to leave your email or phone number with the town manager or the clerk, so that way when the time comes that it's docketed, they can notify you so you can come back for the actual public hearing where your remarks will be reflected in that hearing. Thank you. Any questions or discussion on that item from the council? Okay. Moving to resolutions of the council, we have a few this evening. Item A, Resolution 2025-88, approving undercarriage truck chassis wash station. This is pages 57 to 69 in our packet. Do I hear a motion from the council?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Brown,
Second.
second by Councilman Pasqua. Director McGee.
As Kevin comes up, I just wanted to remind the council that this has been on the capital projects list probably for about 4 years now. It was funded in this past budget. It's well needed. Kevin can explain to you why it's well needed, but it's something that's been on the radar for a while.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why we requested the undercarriage truck wash, we're receiving bills that have been exceedingly high because of the parts cost. We're getting transmissions, housings that are rusting. We're getting brake units. We're getting frames that are deteriorating to a point have to be, actually being replaced, costing us $10,000, $20,000. This is a small investment for all of the vehicles in town that we could not, we already get the top of the chassis. The engine can get done with what we have now for a wash system, but the undercarriage system cannot get done. And day-to-day grime and also the salt and neutralization for the wintertime is what's important, so that we keep the trucks on the road longer, so we have the dollars spent less and less for the taxpayers.
Discussion from the council, questions, comments? Councilman Hool.
If I may, I have several concerns regarding the proposed power wash for the Department of Public Works. Firstly, I don't see a cost analysis for the maintenance of the system. If something breaks, what is the average cost of repair? Is there someone locally who can repair it? If it breaks within our 12-month warranty period, how are those repairs going to be handled? I'm also worried about the costs associated with the disposing of the salt and the potential contamination from the oil and the hydraulic fluid. I'd like to hear what the plan is for that, along with the cost. Could the objective of cleaning these vehicles be achieved through manual power washing instead? I just feel like it's a lot of money, so we can have the benefit of having an undercarriage wash. I truly think, in my opinion, that we can find some better ways to spend $100,000. Before this council approves this proposal, I believe it's essential that the professionals involved provide a comprehensive packet addressing these concerns. Currently, there's no information on the system's lifespan, and a minimum 1-year warranty seems inadequate given the cost involved. There's likely a reason for the lack of extended warranty. The report mentions a study and analysis supporting the system's benefits, but I don't see that documentation attached. It's frustrating that we're sitting here discussing this without having all relevant information. While the proposal may have already been approved, moving forward, I would expect that complete details, especially ones regarding the costs related to disposing of contaminated materials and ongoing maintenance. I have a background, I used to handle car washes, and I know that contaminants is very expensive. What is the plan for that?
Part of the pricing is not only just the car wash system, but also the integral components of it, which will include a tank system and a dry well that will collect the solids. The dry well will collect the fluids that we will then be able to pump into our system we have a contract with now. Any water overflow will go into the detention pond that we have here on the property. We had a lot of this information provided prior to your being on the council during the budget process that was presented to the council, and that's why it was approved by this council during the budget process.
Has anyone from your department reached out to any of the other out-of-state municipalities who are currently using the system as referenced in the report?
Yes, there are none in Rhode Island, but there are some.
Right. New York. Yep. And what was the outcome of that?
They're happy. They're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in those DOT programs.
Can this be achieved from manual power washing?
You're not. We've been trying that. The manual power washing can only get to a certain point. Cannot get underneath the units. Manual power washing can get the tops, can get the engine compartments, can get the wall, but it will not get underneath the systems.
Will this add any additional cost to the disposal? That's really where my interest is, because that's expensive. And I just feel like we have $100,000 as, a little more than $100,000 to purchase the system, but I don't see any cost analysis for the ongoing maintenance or disposal.
We already have a contract for the disposal, and we'll just be adding to that right now. We have the cost of what we're going to be saving for parts and the longevity of the equipment is far going to outweigh the cost of just disposal of contaminants.
I just haven't seen that study, so it's hard for me to, it should have been presented, in my opinion, tonight.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Councilman Pasqua.
Personally, with the trouble we've had with the trash trucks, the bottoms of them rotting out and, people's trash and recycling not getting picked up for weeks, if we have a piece of equipment that could help maintain these things and keep them on the road longer and avoid those issues, I'm all for it. I work and deal with large trucks that just get eaten away with salt and everything, and there's so many crevices underneath them, and there's such a large area underneath these that this is a really good idea. This needs to happen, in my opinion.
Not just the trash trucks, also it's all the equipment and all the over-the-road trucks also.
Right.
Further discussion from the council? Vice President Verducci.
Just a quick question on what is the effect of manpower with this system? Do you need someone to be able to perform it, or you have less people now because you're not doing the manual?
This is actually automated system where it's just, they would just drive over it and it gets the undercarriage system. It's not going to cost any other additional manpower. And hopefully we're not going to be adding more mechanics because we're replacing more and more parts. We're trying to save what we have.
And again, while I think it's a great tool, I just don't think now is the time. I think we have some other deficits that we need to focus on.
Further discussion from the council? You know, adding to Councilman Pasqua's comments, when I had posted on my Facebook page about the new trash trucks coming in, all of the comments were, how long until the town doesn't take care of these, doesn't maintain these, and they break down, and we don't take care of what we have. So, the public is expecting us to take care of our equipment. You know, there was a point I saw this as something that was kind of over the top to have, but now going through all that we've gone through in terms of vehicle maintenance, hearing from residents about the bottoms of trucks falling out and glass and recycling and everything else being all over the road because the bottom of our trucks are rotting out. You know, if that's avoidable, I think that's an investment. And honestly, one of the most public facing services is DPW and what these trucks provide. So, you know, we've budgeted for this investment. It's something that's been considered every year that I've been on this council. We have the capital funds laid aside. And as I said, public comment that I've seen has said that they would like us to take care of these new trucks. So that's my comments on the matter. So, Councilman Capaldi.
This is a great idea. I mean, we keep hearing about the issues with our trucks, and anything we can do to make their lives longer, obviously, is well worth it. I agree with these two. I think JP agreed. I can't remember. JP? You think this is a good idea? Okay. So yes, I think this is a good idea. I think it's well worth the money. We're getting these new trucks, and if I had one for my car, that'd be awesome. We live in Rhode Island. We need this. Thank you.
Preventive maintenance, so we're not spending money on repairs and the trucks are down. We can prevent this and keep them up longer.
Councilman Brown.
I do agree that this is a good purchase. Since I've been on the council for 10 months, we've approved a lot of new equipment for your department. And preventative maintenance going forward is going to be a big part of what we do and how we take care of stuff. So this is sorely needed. As with Councilman Pasqua, I work with big trucks and they get rotted out real easy. We've tried makeshift systems to try to get them clean and it don't do the job. It's time that we take a professional step here, and this is a direction in the right way. And I support this wholeheartedly to get this done to preserve our equipment that the taxpayers are paying for.
Thank you.
Any further discussion from members of the council? Vice President Verducci.
So just going off of Councilman Brown's point, we have made a lot of investment in DPW. So I just want to make sure, you know, when it comes time again for operating budgets, we should be seeing some of these savings start to come true. So, you know, something for us to tag as we go forward in the future. Are those maintenance costs going down? Are we starting to see, you know, extra repairs and things like that? So just something to flag there.
Further discussion from members of the council? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilman Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
No.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
We have 6 in the affirmative, 1 in the negative. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Resolution 2025-89, vote for final bond release for the remaining 10% retention balance of $18,373.43 to Cedar Creek Phase 2, owner applicant ASCO Group Incorporated, AP 318, Lot 172, Zone RR-2, Provident Place and Hill Farm Road. Resolution is on pages 70 to 75 in our packet. Manager Perla, I'll throw to you. I don't,
Yes, so the planning commission voted to approve the final release of the bond after all final inspections were put in place by our town engineer, Joe Levesque. So the planning commission pushed this to the council, and we're asking the council to approve the final bond release in the amount of $18,373.43.
Discussion from members of the council on the resolution. Vice President Verducci.
Just the most obvious one. So all conditions have been met and we're cleared, no holdups, and we can confirm that. Okay, thank you.
Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I hear a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilman Brown. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Resolution 2025-90, approving the allocation of school impact fees in the amount of $9,996.10 to pack, prep, and dispose of waste inventoried for the pretreatment preparation work of the new sewer line for the Coventry High School. This is page 76 in our packet. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Hul,
Second.
second by Councilman Pasqua. Discussion. Manager Perillo.
So as you know, we are very, very close to beginning the high school sewer project, like next week close. Part of that pretreatment for the high school is they needed some work done on the premises in order to prepare the system that's going to be in place. So this 999610 is in order to do some preparation and pretreatment with the facility, the tank that's already on site there. So we're going to take this out of their impact fees. They currently have $110,000 in that account.
Any discussion from the council?
Will this happen? Will this have to happen again after they're connected to sewer? I'm assuming we're talking about their septic system.
So yeah, so this should be a yearly maintenance issue for them. They're going to incorporate this into their budget, but this year it's not in their budget.
Understood.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Resolution 2025-91, approving the recommendation of Turner and Townsend Heary for 2 school bond projects as project manager not to exceed $100,000. This is pages 77 to 79 in our packet. Do I hear a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Brown,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Hul. Mr. Perillo.
So as you know, the school bond just got completed, so the school now has access to $25 million. 2 of the projects are over $4 million. Both of these projects need some type of oversight, a project manager. So the school building committee did go out to bid. They vetted 5 proposals, and the Turner and Townsend Heary was the proposal that was selected. And again, it's not to exceed $100,000 for both projects. And this money will come out of the school bond.
Manager Perillo, if I'm not mistaken, we're required to have an OPM when a project costs over a certain amount.
Correct, for those 2 projects, correct. Yep.
Discussion from the council? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Resolution 2025-92, approving the purchase of 3 sanitation trucks for the Department of Public Works. This is pages 80 to 102 in our packets. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua,
I'll second it.
second by Councilman Capaldi. Discussion. Director McGee, did you want to just address Ms. Boyd's question from the public? There was a question about the expiration date on the quote, and if we needed to get a new one.
The quote that we received initially in July, when I was told the contractor that we were not going to have meetings until later on and couldn't get it justified until the August meeting, he indicated that the company would hold the number through September 1st, and that we would not be subject to the tariffs that would be included. I can have, tomorrow, have it updated to show that it's good until 9/1 if we have it approved by you folks. Yes, it sounds kind of, we have 3 trucks that we ordered back in February of '24. We are over 18 months right now, and we still haven't received the 3rd truck yet. These are 24 months out if we need them today. So trying to replace the fleet in the future, trying to plan ahead so that we don't run into the same situation we had before, but had to be down with trucks. Ordering them now, in 2 years, we'll have the replacement trucks in place that we can start cycling some of the older stuff out and have some spare trucks. It's up to the council at this point, but if you want to save the cost being saved and also the tariffs being omitted, they're willing to do it. Otherwise, we would have to be subject to that going back out to bid in the future.
Discussion from the council?
When would we be able to get in writing that they'll honor the quote? Or you'd be able to get it tomorrow? Council President, would we be able to approve this based on receiving that in writing? Like, I'm for the trucks. I just
Yes.
want to make sure we're protecting ourselves here.
Yeah, so we can have the motion amended to make it a contingent motion that we approve the resolution contingent upon the quote being honored. So
Would that make it have to come back to the council? I don't want to miss the September 1 deadline is my fear here.
sure.
That's my concern. So I'd love to, I'm for it. I just want to make sure we're protected here.
We're in the summer schedule. We only have 1 meeting this
Yep.
month, so that's why everything is jumbled together. So
Madam
Yes, sir.
President, if I may procedurally on the law, you can approve it contingent.
Other discussion on this? Yeah, sure.
As far as the contingency goes, I'm kind of interested in, whether they'll put in writing about the tariff part too, just because that seems to change so much. So,
this is going
yeah,
to,
better be safe than sorry. So, that's
prices
all.
those prices will actually tie this into this quote.
And then my question, I don't know if maybe you can answer it, just a reminder, what is the amount that we're putting away in your budget for the rollover of a trash truck purchase? Is it 150 or 120 a year?
150 or 175.
And so we know that the funds we're putting away, by the time it comes time to pay the bill, that,
We're self-leasing it, so we're not paying somebody else. We're paying ourselves.
got it. Okay.
So between that money being set aside in the budget along with the capital revolving fund, we'll be able to fund these 18 months or 2 years.
Okay. Councilman Capaldi.
Since these tariffs are coming about, and I mean, that's kind of like a moving target right now, are you putting aside enough money for?
What are the tariffs going to be, ma'am? Everything that we buy, all the parts that we're buying are either delayed because of part shortages or the prices are going up because of the tariffs. I couldn't have planned this when we were doing the budget last year. We will definitely be looking at that in this next budget coming up.
So in theory, what did you say, in 2 years, we could have enough money to?
Well, these new trucks are going to be here in probably 18 months to 2 years. So, and during that time, we'll begin to set aside money within the capital revolving fund and the budget so we can finance them. I think the current 3 we have now are being financed over 5 years or 7 years. So we'll have that expenditure accounted for.
All right, great. Thank you.
Please keep in mind, when we converted over to the automated trucks, they all happened in 2016. So all the trucks were done in 2016. By us now getting to the point where they have to start getting replaced, they'll be done in phases so that we won't have them all going off at the same time in the future.
When you get a brand new truck, how long should it last now that you have this undercarriage?
We don't have it yet. So
When you do have it, if I had a magic wand.
we're hoping that magic wand will last an additional 2 to 3 years for us.
Yeah.
Depending on what we're able to do with it. By daily having those trucks go over that truck wash, that'll keep the grime and also keep the salt in the wintertime off.
Thank you.
So, Councilman Brown, I believe the motion was yours. I don't know if you want to amend it for the contingency with respect to honoring the quote and the exemption from tariffs.
I amend it with those contingencies.
Okay, and the second from Mr. Pasqua. Councilman Pasqua, you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. If there's no further discussion on the resolution, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Mr. McGee.
Yeah.
Resolution 2025-93, approving the purchase of 2 Ford Police Patrol Interceptor all-wheel drive SUVs for the Coventry Police Department. This is pages 103 to 220 in your packet. Do I hear motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Pasqua. Chief?
Good evening. The first resolution I have before you today is for 2 frontline patrol vehicles. These are, one of those vehicles happens to be budgeted from our 2025-2026 budget. The second was funding that we were able to realize through the Public Safety State of Rhode Island Burn JAG grant. We were able to get nearly $27,000 towards the vehicle. With that and impact fees, we were able to get the second vehicle. These will be vehicles that are on the road every day for the next 5-6 years. And then as they move on, they'll go into the detail fleet. So we get a long life out of these 2 vehicles. And the state of Rhode Island came through with the grant money.
Discussion for Chief. Councilman Hall.
I received the balance fees of the impact right before I sat down, so I haven't had a chance to review, but one of my questions on there was, what does that, by using some of the impact fees for this, where does that leave us?
The balance now, Councilman, is about 405,000 for the police department in impact fees.
Further discussion from members of the council? Vice President Verducci.
Just to get a sense, because we're going to get a lot of these as we go forward. So are you going to be retiring a couple of vehicles? Are they worth anything? I always just like to see, how close were we to?
So interestingly enough, with these vehicles, we not only retire them to detail vehicles, which will bring in money for the town, but then further beyond that, we'll bring them into the different IT, wherever needs it within our department. We were actually able to transfer 1 vehicle to the town this year. That was a previous, not a police vehicle, but it was one of our detective vehicles. So we get a long life out of these. Well, we'll use them to the end.
Yeah, we're trying to have the departments kind of work together with this type of equipment. So the vehicle that he's speaking of was an admin vehicle. And because the council approved the 3rd person in tax assessing, the tax assessor can use that vehicle to go out and do her job better to assess and get more revenue, if you want to say, from the appraisals. So it's kind of trying to have all the departments kind of work together, utilizing the resources. Same thing with Robillard. Bob Robillard just got his vans from Ripter. So we're going to see if any departments want to utilize his old vans. So it's just trying to keep things to the point of usefulness before we totally get rid of them.
Yes, sir.
If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Resolution 2025-94, approving the purchase of an administrative police vehicle for the Coventry Police Department. This is pages 221 to 255 in your packets. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilman Brown. Chief?
Right, this vehicle, it's a single vehicle, and it's different only in that it's going to be used for administrative and detective purposes. Back approximately 2-3 years ago, we recognized that our detective fleet was inadequate, and it was breaking down on us. They had 2011 and 2014 Chevy Impalas. So we've begun to purchase through seizure funds, grant funding, and through normal budgeting, replacing these cars each year as long as we can go. So then we can make that fleet whole. With those 2011s, then as the town manager said, we can transfer those out. But for right now, these will be going to, this will be a detective vehicle.
Discussion from the council? Councilman Hul?
No, I appreciate your work.
So one change, if I can, Madam President. So the resolution says we're going to use the operating budget. That is incorrect. So the police department put this in their proposed budget this year. I cut it out in their budget. So it's not coming from the budget. This is also going to be coming from impact fees.
So we'll need to amend the resolution.
Yes.
So can you just let us know which lines you'll be amending and if, and I take it the amount doesn't change, just the source.
Correct, yeah. So this line 41 will be impact fees as the funding source. Same number, 51,577.
Do I
You can withdraw the original motion to approve.
think we'll just,
You
can we just, to amend and then vote on the amended resolution? Do I hear a motion to amend line 41 to reflect that it's coming from impact fees?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Hool,
A second.
second by Councilman Capaldi. Any discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown? Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
And now back to the resolution as amended. Any further discussion?
I just want to confirm, I'm sorry, I just want to confirm the impact fees balance included that third vehicle. That was the final balance at the end there.
So it's good that that was prior
The-
to this, yes. Yep.
If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua? Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-95, approving the Village at Tyoke subdivision sewer extension. This is pages 256 to 265 in our packets. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion to what? Motion to approve by Councilman Capaldi. Do I hear a second? Second by Councilman Brown. Discussion. Solbeck.
Joe Levesque, Town Engineer, seeking approval for a sewer extension / connection for the proposed development, Village at Tioga. Roughly 52,800 gallons per day is the estimated flow. The line in Tioga, which ultimately this will connect to, has been analyzed and it has sufficient capacity. And recommending approval.
Discussion from the council.
Is this going to increase any of our, to my understanding, we're already underutilizing what we're charging or being paid, correct? As far as to the sewer department?
To West Warwick, though?
Yeah.
So we use, I think we have 21% of West Warwick is ours, and we only use about 11 to 12.
So we're taking some more of that back for us finally? This won't increase anything in addition to?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Solicitor Angel, this is in my district. I know that Mr. Verducci lives in the area. With respect to the applicant, I imagine I'll have constituents with respect to other developments of this builder asking me why I approved this because of other circumstances. Can you just remind the public with respect to applicants for different developments and how that works?
Well, the analysis is applicant neutral. Mr. Levesque's analysis stands on its own, irrespective of who the applicant may or may not be. So that's its own self-proving analysis. And if the town engineer, gives his approval, I certainly have no objection to it.
Councilman Hool?
That's a gravity-fed system there, if that's correct, right?
The existing system is gravity.
And it's not going to cause any issues when we get to the peak of that?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion from members of the council? Vice President Verducci?
Just one thing that might be helpful for all of us is, where are we in the process? How did this come up? So this got proposed to you, it was reviewed. I know we have sewer commission.
Sewer subcommittee hasn't met in months. I'm not sure.
Doesn't have enough members.
Yeah, so sewer items have been going directly to council.
It's a good plug for the sewer subcommittee.
Yeah, normally the sewer subcommittee makes a recommendation to the council, but however, because we don't have a quorum, we've been coming directly to the council with these.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown? Councilmember Pasqua. Councilmember Capaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Hul.
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis.
Yes.
Vice President Verducci.
Yes.
President Lima.
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you.
Under ordinances, reference to introduction of new matters before the council. As the solicitor stated, we have a few ordinances on for first reading this evening. First reading of ordinance number 2025-20, amendment to the Town of Coventry Code of Ordinances, 2008, Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 217, Taxation by adding Article 8 to Chapter 217, Article 8, Chapter 217, Tax Exemption Agreements and Tax Stabilization Agreements. That's pages 266 to 268 in your packets. First reading of ordinance number 2025-21, amendment to the Town of Coventry Code of Ordinances, Part 2, General Legislation, 2008, by adding sections to Chapter 255, Zoning, Article 5, Zoning Districts and Zoning District Map. This page is 269 to 274 in your packet. That's the Westwood Estates matter that folks were here on this evening. And first reading of ordinance number 2025-21, amendment to the Town of Coventry Code of Ordinances, Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 255, Article 3, Administration and Enforcement. That's pages 275 to 278 in our packets.
President, if I may, there's just a typo there on that one. It should be 2025-22.
Yes. But I believe it's correct in the actual document in the material. Yep. All right, that's there for first reading. There's no comment at this point. And lastly, we have public comment for undocketed items. Folks can come up to the microphone, state name and address of record. Make sure the green light is on.
Brittany Boyer, 318 Town Farm Road. First, I just have a question about the resolution 2025-91, the project manager that we brought on. Do we know who that is? Is that a town employee or is that somebody who does not work for the town?
It's an outside it's a third party consultant.
Okay, all right, perfect. And then I just wanted to comment quickly before I get into my undocketed items. The police vehicles for the administrative and the police patrol, if you look at those invoices, they charge $300 every time they deliver a vehicle. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. My husband and I both purchased new cars. They wanted to charge us $500 to deliver them from Mass, where they're getting these police cars to Rhode Island. We asked them not to, and they crossed it off. We did not have to pay it. So if you can save $300 per car that you're bringing in, $300 is not maybe a whole lot of money, but if you're saving it on every single police car, admin car that you're bringing in, every $300 adds up. So, I have a couple things here tonight. Back in March, I spoke about teachers telling students they were in need of supplies. I was quickly corrected and told that that wasn't true. The superintendent even addressed it, stating both teachers and principals had sufficient funds. Afterward, my daughter's principal even offered to refund my donation of supplies and backpacks. So when I recently saw that the Coventry Housing Authority was collecting school supplies and backpacks for local kids going to the same schools, I was confused. I'm trying to find out, do we need these supplies or not? As a parent and community member, it's hard not to feel conflicted. When I try to contribute and support, I'm told it's not necessary and even discouraged. But then I see organizations stepping in to fill what clearly appears to be a need. It's becoming difficult to believe that these corrections and pushbacks aren't personal. I asked for clarity and I asked that we stop sending mixed messages, especially when it comes to helping our students. If you guys want these are all the posts that Coventry Housing put out. They are collecting backpacks and supplies for Coventry students, which is the same thing we did and we were spoken to about.
Did you speak at school committee public comment on this?
No, because when I spoke about it here, the superintendent was in the room and you asked him to get up and speak to me, and he did.
Yeah, because all we can do is allocate the full amount of their budget. We don't decide how it gets spent, so.
Right, so I'm not asking, I guess my concern is, it was brought up here that it was said that they did not need these things. And it was actually you, Madam President, who called me up and wanted to speak to me about it a second time up here while the superintendent was here. So I just wanted to make that known to the council, that I was brought up and I was spoken to about it. However, the town itself is now collecting those school supplies.
The housing authority is not an entity of the town, if I'm correct? Mr. Angel, no.
That's how they're publicizing these. So just so you're aware. I had a lot of residents reach out to me, a lot of residents who do not want to get up and publicly speak or who are nervous to. So I have a few things that I'm going to be speaking on from the community. The first one, which is actually the biggest one, is that Mr. Angel is not a town employee. He has made this abundantly clear to us on multiple occasions. So that's why I'm asking if the town is covering the cost of Mr. Angel's legal counsel, and if so, why?
Legal counsel with respect to,
The social lawsuit.
I don't know that we can comment on the litigation.
Can you comment on if the town is covering the legal fees for Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Okay. Even though Mr. Angel is a third-party contractor per him and said that he is not an employee of the town. I just want to make that very clear for the people who are asking. Okay, moving on. I'm following up on a matter that came up during the May 13th council meeting, specifically docketed item 12-17C3 regarding the new HVAC system for the Human Resources and Police Headquarters building. At that time, many members of the public expressed concern about why a complete system replacement was needed so soon. From what I could gather, the current system was only installed in 2019. I believe Councilman Pasqua mentioned the name Tower HVAC as the original installer, but I'm not 100% of that. During the undocketed items portion of that meeting, I spoke to suggest that we look into possible recourse, warranty claims, or other avenues to recoup part of the cost of this new system. Councilman Pasqua appeared ready to comment on the matter, but was stopped by Mr. Angel, stating we couldn't have discussion. President Lima, you then recommended docketing the item for further discussion, and Councilman Pasqua agreed. So I'm here to ask if that has since happened, and if not, whether it can be docketed as soon as possible. Given the cost of a full HVAC replacement, especially one that's occurring just 5 years after installation, there could be a significant amount of money on the table. If there's any possibility of recovering costs or holding a vendor accountable, we owe it to the taxpayers to pursue that. The outcome of situations like these are usually better sooner rather than later, so I just wanted to make sure this was addressed promptly.
Manager Pearl, I see you scribbling. I assume you'll put it in the pipeline for the dockets.
So that was not worked on from May until now.
I don't, what was it
You
worked on?
specifically asked Mr. Perillo.
It has not been on the docket. I'm waiting to hear back from the contractor.
So you
I just reached out recently.
you reached out to them?
Did not reach out in May, no.
So you just said you're waiting to hear back. You did not reach out at all? So you're not waiting to hear back. Moving on.
He just said he didn't reach out in May, but he just reached out recently and he's waiting.
When is recently? Would you have, okay, thank you. I had multiple residents reach out to me concerned that money from the perpetual care fund meant for cemetery upkeep was moved into the general fund years ago, and that as a result, some cemeteries are now being left without proper care. Can someone clarify if this is accurate, and if so, what steps we can take to ensure these cemeteries receive the maintenance and respect they deserve?
We have a cemetery maintenance fund. It's about $75,000 a year that maintains 42 historical cemeteries in town.
Okay, so driving around town, there are some that are not cared for?
Yes, I believe there's over 200 in the entire town.
Okay, I'm speaking mostly about ones that are pretty, like on main roads, on main strips, not ones that are back in 40 acres of someone's property, but.
I can provide you the list. I don't know what all 200 are, but I can provide you the list.
Okay, I reached out and asked for a list about 2 weeks ago, and I have not had a response to the clerk's office.
I will get it to you.
Okay. Back in 2021, prior to any of the pond-related issues, there was a discussion in which Councilman Pasqua mentioned interest, along with President Lima, in pursuing available grant funding for playgrounds and recreational spaces. At that time, Councilman Pasqua, you indicated you had a specific piece of property in mind and described this as a priority for your term. You also mentioned that amenities such as splash pads, public zoos, and areas for fishing and swimming were things we could definitely do. That's a quote. President Lima, you had also shared that you were exploring ideas for the Oak Haven School facility and were already in communication with Parks and Rec about it at that time. It's been 4 years since those discussions, and I wanted to kindly follow up and ask if there has been any further development planning or moving on these ideas.
So I know that under the previous Parks and Rec director, they were renting out the gym in the Oak Haven School. But in terms of locations for playgrounds, the Oak Haven property was not on the list. And I believe we have new playgrounds set to be complete, or 3 by the end of next spring or the summer next year?
The public meeting, September 8th, at the senior center to describe the 3 playgrounds that are going in for public comment.
When did we start the process on those 3 playgrounds? I'm just looking to see if it's been a 4-year
Yeah.
process for 3 playgrounds.
No, we just got the grant within the last years.
And with the grants for playgrounds with DEM, they only do them, I don't know why, on even numbered years. They do them every other year.
So this was in respect to the one that was coming up in 2022 that you and Councilman Pasqua said you were pursuing
Pursuing where?
through DEM. And it was available for it was specifically a grant for playgrounds and recreational spaces that was available in 2022.
I think we did put that on Lisa's radar. We have a grant writer that we hired as she's a third-party contractor,
Mhm.
done a really good job getting grants and stuff, community center, high school sewer, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I think the playground and DEM grants are on her list, and that's something she's been working on, I believe.
The ones that are happening next year also were funded by DEM grant,
Got you. Okay.
in addition to CDBG funds.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, my concern is just a 4-year turnaround for some recreational spaces. And I'm sure you can see in my speaking tonight that my concern is that a lot of things are not reached out to somebody or followed up on until I bring them up again and again and again. And then I'm told I emailed them 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyer. Public comment, Ms. Peel. Just make sure the green light's on and state your name and address to the record, please.
Good evening, Vincent Pillow, 36 North of Platte. Following up tonight on a request that we had on behalf of our association for a modification to our covenants, regarding a piece of land at the beginning of our neighborhood.
Can you just remind the association, please?
Sure, Hawkcrest Association. So I don't know if we want to potentially discuss it here tonight or get it on the agenda for a deeper discussion. I had passed on the appropriate information. I worked with the town manager. We exhausted all the other avenues. So I believe it would now fall onto the council for discussion.
Manager Pillow, does this sound familiar?
I'm waiting to set up a meeting with the solicitor and I and Mr. Pila to discuss the changes to the covenant that they're looking for.
Has anyone reached out has you reached out to Mr. Pila on a date to meet?
Not as of yet.
Will that happen this week?
I can try to coordinate our schedules, yes.
Not the meeting, but at least reaching out to him to set up a date. Okay.
We've been communicating back and forth. We just haven't been able to nail down a date for it. So I didn't know if it was best to just come here in front of the group to talk, maybe nail down, or
Yeah,
put it on the agenda for discussion at a
Yeah,
future meeting, or?
we can't talk in detail about it because it wasn't docketed, but, you know, once you meet with the solicitor and the town manager and the details are all set, then it'll come before the council.
Better to pursue it that way instead of getting it on the docket.
Well, what comes on the docket will be the final form of what you're looking for.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cheryl Kane, 185 Reed Schoolhouse Road. I'm in here regards to reading something to you. This is in regards to the customary home occupation. A customary home occupation is any occupation, profession, activity, or use conducted for financial gain within a dwelling that is clearly customary and incidental and accessory to the normal residential uses of a dwelling unit. Customary home occupation do not alter the exterior of the property or the effect of the residential character of the neighborhood. Customary home occupations are permitted uses in all residential zones, provided that they comply with the following conditions. All business activities must be clearly incidental and secondary to the property's principal use as a residence. All business activities must be performed by a resident. The home occupation shall not occupy more than 100 feet of floor area. The persons residing outside the home shall not be employed on site. Business activities shall not be visible from any lot line. Any patrons or customers for the sale of products are not permitted on the premises. There shall be no exterior display signs, storage of materials, or other exterior indication that a home occupation is occurring on the premises, except as may be otherwise permitted by the zoning ordinance. There shall be no change to the residential character of the principal building. Home occupation shall not generate any vibration, smoke, dust, odors, heat, glare, or offensive noise. No traffic shall be generated by such occupation, included but not limited to the employees, customers, deliveries, or shipments. No dealing or selling of firearms or related products is permitted at a home occupation. And then below, we have storage, commercial vehicles, and such. No more than 1 ton capacity. This is the document that town clerk's office gives to everyone that applies for a trade name certificate. Customary home occupation is attached. By law, if you are using a name other than your regular name in a business, you are supposed to be filing a trade name in the town of Coventry, as you know what I'm talking about. Today, I have a letter here from Michael J. Bain, a notarized signature. He's of 90 Reed Schoolhouse Road, was the owner of AMD Lawn Care LLC when Kathy Laporte, zoning official, informed him by letter from the town in pictures that were taken by her. Ms. Laporte told us we had to move the business to another location and not in a residential area on the customary home occupation ordinance. This occurred in 2003. In 2015, Jacob Peabody of the Zoning and Planning Department also informed him that he could not park his dump truck on the property. These documents I'm gonna give to the court that we could file. I have some documents here that I would like to pass out to all of you, so I can explain to you what they are. The documents you have before you are the documents that I have done research on. You already have the customary home occupation right in front of you, the trade name. Let's go on to the limited liability company out of the organization. That's going to be on the 3rd page. Does everyone see that? It says ID number on the very top, 1757319. Is that on your 3rd page? Yes, no? Okay. All right. This is in regards to Crown Cleaners, location at 211 Reed Schoolhouse Road, Coventry, Rhode Island. The owner is Kyle A. Clunia. This documentation he filed in 2023, May of 2011, right after Mr. Perillo, fire, police, engineer, building inspector, zoning, planning, all came to my house. Mr. Perillo and the police officers did go to the property line to see the burn pit and see what everything was there. The other ones just stood in my yard. They didn't want to see what I'm in those pictures. They didn't want to see it. So I have invited everyone to come to my home many times. I have sent emails for the past 3 years that anybody can come to my property, and no one shows up, except Kerry Kowalski, the zoning official, will sit in front of the property in her vehicle, and that's it. I'm sorry. I just can't understand this. I mean, I worked for the town of Coventry. We have to do our jobs we are hired for, and she's a zoning official. She needs to come to the properties, and she has to see what's going on. She has to visualize what's going on. Okay, so as we'll go further, and then we have the entity summary. Again, we have Kyle Cludia, Crown Cleaners, 211 Reed Schoolhouse Road. Then we have, he stated that he had a business in Warwick. So what I did is I went on Google, and all the companies that are called Crown Cleaners are just basically cleaners of clothes, maybe even rugs. But the only cleaners that does Crown Cleaners, as in the kind of work that he does clean outs of brush, brings everything back to the house, then he burns it with bonfires. He has the tree trunks back there. He processes them, he splits them. He has 4 or 5 employees that come on a daily basis. But anyways, so what I did, I went to Warwick, I got a trade name here. As you can see, the copy of the trade name. And they said that the property was located at 97 Bethel Street. Well, the owner of 97 Bethel Street is AB Junior Realty LLC, so I guess you rented it there. Then you got a picture of the house, the raised ranch, and then you have the documentation from City of Warwick saying that he never paid any taxes on any of those on his business whatsoever. You see the public records right there, says it. Then we go on to the property maintenance ordinance of the town of Coventry, which says that property is, it shall be the duty of person owning or leasing property in all zoning districts to maintain such premises in reasonably clean and orderly manner and to a standard conforming to other orderly premises in the neighborhood. As you can see from those pictures, he has a junkyard. He has so much debris that it's just a fire hazard. We are very concerned in this neighborhood. We have people that have infants. He's chainsawing and doing whatever. The babies can't sleep. The elderly that are there, they can't enjoy their property because they have a business right in the neighborhood. We have all clusters now, as in residential clusters in this area. So there's no longer, it's not a really treed area because a lot of people have cleaned their property. So you hear all this noise everywhere. And I just feel that when these people moved into these areas, they moved there to have peace and quiet. They move there because they might have some mental issues. They might have PTSD. They could have autistic children. And then what you're doing, you're putting a business in a residential area. This type of business does not make any sense. I did talk to Kathy Laporte. I have it right here. Kathy Laporte was a zoning official that we had prior. And this is what I wrote this, I sent this to Doug McLean, the planning director. We would like to bring this to your attention that I spoke with Kathy Laporte, the head of the zoning department, at the time of the customary home occupation ordinance was created and established. She has informed me the purpose, intention, and spirit of the customary home occupation ordinance was to govern these types of property maintenance businesses that were popping out throughout the town. The services included but not limited to landscaping, chainsawing, tree cutting, wood chipping, removal of salvage items such as plastics, metals, etc., in residential areas. Mr. McLean has stated that someone has been out here many times and does not hear or see anything that would prove that there is a business located on site. We believe if someone would come onto our property and view Mr. Cloutier's and Chrissy Lee Robbins' property from our side lot, they would be able to prove it. Please allow us to live safely in this residential neighborhood and return our quality of life. It's just, I just said, this has been going on for 3 years. And as you see from those pictures, every year, the building inspector has to come out. He doesn't take any pictures. We took the pictures. We have pictures and videos all the way back to 2021 to present. I have a flash drive right here, which I'm also going to submit. I don't know who I should submit it to because I really want someone to look at this. I don't want it just put away. We're done putting it away. We need to do something. We need to protect our lives. This is an extreme fire hazard. When you look at those, you see all those you see all that dry brush. It's everywhere. So please, please help us move on and have our life back. We do believe in those small businesses, but those are hairdressers, accountants, just that in and out the doors. They're not doing this kind of thing. You can see it right from the property line. You can see everything he has in his backyard. Since the fall's coming, you guys are going to see it. But because I went and bought all those beautiful pine trees that are probably now by 7 feet tall to cover his property, you can't see it from the road, but you can definitely see it from that backyard. You can see everything. So please come and visit me. Thank you.
Could I have a motion to enter into the record the pictures, the trade name certificate, the guidance for business activities in residential zones, and the SOS filing packet that Ms. Kane shared, please?
Also, the notarized document from Mr. Bain that his business was closed on Reed Schoolhouse Road.
And that as well. I do
Yes.
motion to add to the record.
Yes, Mr. Bain.
Second the motion.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilman Capaldi. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua?
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
Councilwoman Capaldi.
In one of the emails that you sent, I believe you stated that the Cloutiers were appearing in court this mid-August?
They canceled it.
Who canceled what?
They postponed it.
The court did?
I don't know who did. I don't know if they didn't have, I don't know if because,
Town Manager, do you have any idea? Because they were supposed to appear, I don't know why they were appearing in court, but I'd like
They
to,
were cited, and there was a hearing scheduled for the end of August. I don't know what
it
happened.
was it was August 19th. It was scheduled for.
why did they cancel to appearance in court?
I don't think any
I'm
pictures.
guessing. I
If
have
you
no
could
idea.
if you could just take a look as to when the next date is and maybe let the council know so we're aware, that would be great. And also, Ms. Kane, I believe on the next docket, the council has asked that the function of zoning enforcement be placed on the agenda so the council can understand how it works and what's going on with that office. So we are taking an interest in it and we want to make sure that it's functioning properly.
Okay, because I also filed something again in November of 24. And she just, I mean, I had to ask her to what do you call it, put a stamp on it and her signature. I don't know if anybody even ever sees this. I have no idea. It's a 3-page document. The only one I mean, I have it. I don't know if anybody else has it. Would you like me to also put this with my,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I also have another question. I'm on the emails that Doug is on, and I think everyone else may be on. Please refresh my memory. Doug keeps asking for something that he says you're not giving him as far as pictures.
He wants me to show him that Mr. Cloutier is running just wood, like he's coming like a commercial business with just wood, and he's not. I've never told him that. I don't know where
I
he's
think,
getting that.
though, what I understood from those emails, that is what
He wants.
he needs. But I know we can't talk about it right
Yeah,
now,
but
so let's,
what I'm saying is, Mr. Cloutier does not follow the customary home occupation. That is the reason why that ordinance was created and established. It was for those types of businesses because they were going throughout the town of Coventry and they were destroying the neighborhoods.
Town Manager, could you please find out what they were cited for too in your investigation of when it's going back on to the docket? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to mention about this 3-page document that you're gonna?
What's that?
Do you want to mention in the minutes that you're gonna let me also add this 3-page document
Yes,
to?
we
Okay.
don't have to motion on that.
Okay.
You can just put that with.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kane.
Thank you.
Councilman Hool?
Just as a suggestion, if you at any point in time you feel that somebody's not delivering us what we need, you have all of our emails. I would encourage you to send that. If I'm just moving forward, I wasn't a part of that. So if you feel that we're not getting something, we need all the information, whether it be bad or good. We need it. So if you have hesitation that you're not getting something, please forward it over to me.
Councilman Hool, can I say something? All the powers that needed to be on those emails. Okay.
Public comment on docketed items?
Hey, guys. I'm actually going to comment on something docketed, if it's all right. Brian Kiesling, 78 Arnold Road. Hugh, congratulations. And I really enjoyed watching you get into the thing about the undercarriage washer. And I wanted to piggyback on that on you. I have a little bit of experience as well. And I'm aware that the discharge from a lot of those washing machines is quite costly. Comparing ourselves to New York, and that New York has seen success with this. New York has a lot more citizens and a lot more tax budget than we do. I don't know why we weren't compared to Connecticut or Massachusetts that's seeing success in these things. From a third-party perspective, it feels like we're paying $100,000 for an over-glorified sprinkler, so a bunch of fat bellies don't gotta bend over to get the bottom of the trucks no more. There's also silicone and acrylic-based sealants to keep out salts for regions like we live in. And I'm sure Frank Brown knows about those from doing the fire department. He's probably sealed our trucks. So I don't know why those weren't some solutions that we could have maybe discussed before sealing the deal on $100,000 for a sprinkler system that's gonna cost a lot to maintain and deal with the discharge when we're not looking into the clarity of the water in our town $100,000 could do a lot to clear up our water, and we're going to have cleaner garbage trucks than we do beaches. Just wanted to say that. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Thank you. Public comment, council chambers, undocketed items.
By the way. I'm sorry. One more day.
Name and address, please.
Tomorrow is.
I know we all
keynote
know who
day
you are.
at Scott Guthrie, 31 Maplewood Drive. Councilman Delellis and Councilman Hull, welcome aboard. Get ready, because it's going to be an interesting year. You're going to be told things that aren't true, and you're going to have to make decisions on yourself on what's right and what's wrong. Consistently, over the last year and a half, we've been told that the state of Rhode Island supersedes our town charter by the council president, by the solicitor. And it's false. I'm not going to call them liars because, you know, every time I see Mr. Angel speak, he never calls anybody a liar. He just says that it's false. So here in this town, we have 7 council people now. We used to have 5. And there's a state law, 4553, that says a majority of the people present is legal, and you make a decision on that. In his contract, it says that you can't fire him or let him go without a supermajority, which is 5, and 7 members present. How cool is that when you can solidify, all right, your position and take the vote away from the council? So these are the things that you need to pay attention to. All right. There's another little thing here. I think we made 2 changes to his contract. And one of them was, I think the last one was you being able to see, as council people, unredacted billing statements from the lawyer that you pay. And he continues to say that 1.6 of the Code of Conduct doesn't allow me to give you that information. 1.6 of the Code of Conduct protects him, not you. That's him. That protects him in the courts. All right. So let's take a look. I don't know if you got a desktop. You should take like a something where someone like me wants to ask you a question and point out a law instead of having me look it up. 38 1.4. Keeping of records and vaults provided. All right. So now, in order for you individually, and you brought it up the other day, to see records that he may or may not think are privy. State law says those records belong in this building, in that vault, by the town clerk. That is state law. So, you know, when I get challenged to look at something, I always look at it. So I'm going to demand that those records come back into this building, and I'm going to ask the council to solidify that and say, this is where they belong. There's no reason that you should have to drive to Providence and go to an unsecure building All right, so let me see. It says in here under Title 38 that it has to be a fireproof vault. You may have one in your office, Mr. Angel. I don't know that. So let's make sure that we follow state law, which you and our council president say supersedes our charter. I chaired the last charter review. We made some changes. And the very first thing that came up was right after you were sworn in. It came out. You got up and said, at the 2022 charter revision, they changed the way that we hire the solicitor. And we made it from being the manager who hires the solicitor to the town council. And that was requested by Hillary. I have the email. Okay, so here we are. All right. I have reservations of making that decision and allowing it to go to my charter commission. But we discussed it and we thought that there was no harm. Apparently, there's an awful lot of harm. This is costing us a lot of money, real lot of money. And for the council president and the town attorney to lie to the people and say that state law supersedes our charter causes a lot of discontent and a lot of anger in me. So we'll go over a couple of more things on state law. Council president had a project done in her district, $50,000-$60,000 to do some work at Briar Point, much needed work at Briar Point. All right. Violated almost every single article of the Drowning and Life-Saving Prevention Act of state law. Beginning with the day that they opened it. They opened it 5 days earlier than what the state says you can do. The state tells you, all right, and it tells you right here what you got to do, rules, regulations, and orders. And it says that you have to have a lifeguard by fee, membership, or invitation. So a lot of people were thinking that when they put the parking thing in there, that it was going to be masked as a fee, and it wasn't. And the last meeting that I was at here, that I was able to attend, Scott, I think his name is, the guy that's in charge of the Recreation Department. I walked out, he was leaving, I walked out and I asked him a couple of questions. I said, do you know that you have to have a lifeguard? And he said, you know, the way that I read it, no, we don't. I said, are you a lawyer? And he said, no, I'm not. I said, do you have 150 feet of rope with a buoy on it? Well, I have 90 feet of rope. So I said, well, that's not 150 feet of rope. I said, is there a telephone there in public view so that somebody can run and call and say, we have an emergency? Well, we have a guy that patrols the shore and this and that. That's not what the law tells you to do. This is state law. All right. So if we had something in place here locally, fine. We put up signs that said, swim at your own risk. Can't do it. This comes under a specific part of municipalities that operate a beach. Okay, I grew up when I was younger, and we spent most of our summers at Echo Lake. Echo Lake suffered the same thing that we're going through with Johnson's Pond. And we had a blast up there from when I was 13 years old until I was 20 years old. We had a boat, we water skied, the whole 9 yards. Vinnie Messalella did the same thing that Doug Socia did to Coventry. Vinnie Messalella bought the dam rights. He lost. He lost in Superior Court. He lost in Rhode Island Supreme Court. He lost in the First Circuit Court in Boston. And then he went to the United States Supreme Court, who didn't want to hear it. So if I were the solicitor of this town, I'd go right to the Supreme Court right now and say, let's make a decision right now. The decision was already made with the almost identical problem that we have here. I don't see anybody looking down that avenue. I would suggest that we do. Also, let me see. Another thing that troubled me was, I think, I'm not sure if it was the August 8th meeting, when council got up and yelled, but he did yell at one meeting and stood up and wanted to make himself clear, unlike he normally does when he backs away from the mic like this, so that nobody on YouTube or in the audience can hear them. I want you to do this. Put your mouth next to the mic and speak as loudly as you did when you accused or you stated that Councilman LeBlanc wanted to spend the fund balance to buy Johnson's Pond. You said that. That happened in executive session. So who violated some kind of a rule in executive session? You did. You did. And the other thing that I'm disturbed about, and it was the language and the tone that happened on the August 8th meeting when we were having this disgusting thing that you brought up, which everybody in Coventry knows about and think that we're all fools. Well, we're not fools. We're a community and we're supposed to help each other, we're supposed to work with each other, and we're supposed to thrive, make ourselves better. Some of the things that are happening aren't really working so well when it comes to that. So I have your contract, which violates state law. I have your contract amendment that violates state law. And I have what was happening in the city council of Cranston the other night, where you're doing the exact same thing to Cranston with your redacted billing and unredacted billing. When it comes to billing to this town, and when it comes to billing in Cranston, it's supposed to go by charter. And I spoke with the city solicitor. Nice guy, Mr. Malaya. It goes to the city solicitor. You're using your code of professional conduct 1.6 to benefit you, not benefit the people on this council or any other council, because you're trying to make yourself a king, and that is not what you are. You're no longer sitting up there because people complained. And I bet you next week, you're not going to be sitting next to your girlfriend, who was the council president in Cranston. All right, so
Scott,
I'm sorry.
no, the personal attacks, we won't go there. You can take issue with policy, you can take issue with legislation, litigation, but we're not doing personal attacks.
All right, it's fine. So I put something together for you. I even made one for you. Steve. So what this talks about is the charter. Okay? If you remember, I think about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I gave you a copy of how to amend the charter. All right? Mistakenly, people on this, on councils and charter commissions thought that they could just amend the charter. You can take the language that the charter commission gives you and amend it. You can't. The language that they give you is what goes on the ballot. That is the constitutional requirement. All right? So in order for you to amend the charter, as you know, and it says, let me see. I think it says here that it has to be done by the Constitution. And then I think I told you that adoption of charters, all you got to do is, you know, amendments to charters, all you got to do is look up. I think I highlighted in colors the last time. So amendments to charters shall be submitted for approval in the same manner as the adoption of a charter. So you go to section 8 and it tells you to look at section 7, which tells you you have to have a charter commission to change it. But you can do it by a special election. But there's another caveat. And it says further that in the case of a town, amendments concerning a proposition to impose a tax or for the expenditure of money shall be submitted at a special or regular financial town meeting. Guess what happened in Coventry? The council president put on the ballot without a charter review to get rid of the financial town meeting. It was never presented at a financial town meeting. So you violated local law, state law, and the Constitution. You're dealing with the devil because I pay attention. All right? I brought it up earlier that you need to forfeit your seat because you violated the charter. You need to forfeit your seat because you violated state law. Now, you're confronted with violating the Constitution. I pay attention. All right? This is the way that things are supposed to be done by law. So the next thing that you two guys may not know, and you all may not know, is he doesn't get to represent her. You're her court. So did she, according to all of this evidence that I'm giving you, violate the charter or any law? Should she forfeit her seat? That's for you to say, not me. I'm not on the council. You know, I'm just the guy, the simple guy that follows the law, cares about his town, and wants to make it work. Tough thing for you guys to have to see your first time sitting up there. But that is the reality of it. I'm requesting you to forfeit your seat. Thank you.
Public comment, undocketed items, move to Zoom. Can I just go to Zoom first to see if anybody else, to give them their turn? Just raise your hand, public comment on undocketed items to be let in. All right, Ms. Boyer?
Brittany Boyer, 318 Town Farm Road. So as I'm thinking about the answer to the question about if we are covering the legal fees for Mr. Angel, I'm struggling with the fact that every time we ask a question about Mr. Angel, it's always, we can't comment on that. We can never comment on that. Coventry is a town that's very torn about a lot of things. One thing we all band together about is our distrust for Mr. Angel. Taxpayers have a right to know how public funds are being spent, especially when legal expenses may be involved for someone who does not serve as an employee of the town and seems to have their own personal interest above the well-being of this community. I just want you guys to think about that. It's coming from a lot of the people in the town. It's not a good look. It's not about morality, like I said in the email. It's about ethics. So think about what you're hearing, think about what you're seeing, think about how he's treated people, think about how he's treated you. Is that somebody we want representing this community? It wouldn't be somebody that I would choose. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment going once, twice, 3 times. Public comment is closed. We'll now move to executive session. We have 6 items this evening. We have first, pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-582 for litigation matters re Nicholas E. Cambio, trustee and others, v. Commerce Park Realty LLC. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-582 for litigation matters re Jean Natale in her capacity as trustee of the J&J Bakari Family Trust, dated April 2024, v. Town of Coventry. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-582, re International Brotherhood of Police Officers, Local 306, v. Town of Coventry, and International Brotherhood of Police Officers, Local 306, v. Town of Coventry. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-582 for litigation matters re Social Holdings LLC, v. Town of Coventry v. Social Holdings LLC, Terrence Gray, in his capacity as Director, Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management, v. Town of Coventry, and Social Holdings LLC, and others, v. Town of Coventry. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-582 for litigation matters re discussion of proposed litigation to be initiated against and by the town. And pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Section 42-46-5A1, read the provision of legal advice concerning contract formation issues relative to the contracts for the Chief of Police and Major of the Coventry Police Department. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Capaldi to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Capaldi,
Yes.
Councilmember Hul,
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis,
Yes.
Vice President Verducci,
Yes.
President Lima,
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
We'll now go into executive session. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Capaldi, second by Councilman Hool. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua? Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
At this time, I'll seek a motion to seal the minutes of executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Hool, second by Councilman Brown. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Pasqua? Councilmember Capaldi?
Yes.
Councilmember Hul?
Yes.
Councilmember DeLellis?
Yes.
Vice President Verducci?
Yes.
President Lima?
Yes.
7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Members of the public, the council met in executive session to discuss items listed in section 15 of our docket. A discussion was had, no votes were taken. And at this time, I will seek a motion to adjourn at 9:34 PM.
Motion.